So I was out on one of my kind of bi-monthly trips to Walmart, and I saw something that really piqued my interest. A lot of times they'll have collections of a bunch of movies together, and they'll sell them for the same price as one DVD or even one Blu-ray. So when I saw this, I just had to pick it up and I had to check it out. It's the Dragonheart collection, all four movies together in one package. I didn't realize that they had made so many of these. I am a big fan of the original Dragonheart. I really liked it. So what I'm going to try and do is sit down and watch all four of these back to back to back to back, and maybe in between just kind of give a little review of it and some of my thoughts just to see how this series kind of progresses. So I got myself some snacks. I got myself a thematic Dragon's Milk beer to go with it, and let's see how far I can get with this. Alright, so I just finished the first movie. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of Dragonheart, the original one with Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery. Um, yes, it's a little hokey. Yes, it's steeped with, cliches and things that people like to pick apart, but it's something that I've always really enjoyed. If you like stories about Arthurian legends, uh, stories about knights and dragons, you'll like this movie. It's fun. It's a good popcorn flick. I think it came out in 19. I'm cheating and using IMDb here. Came out in 1996. I've seen movies of this kind referred to as A Boy and His Dog, Marley and Me, and Dog's Tale, and things like that. This is like a boy and his dog movie. This is a boy and a dog movie. If Michael Bay had directed it, that's kind of what was going on there. But as much as I like it, I was kind of watching this and I noticed a few things that stuck out to me a bit. The first being the general accents throughout the whole movie are English-ish. Dennis Quaid is probably the funniest. At the very beginning, I think he's trying to do this like Irish thing, and then there's a 12-year jump in the movie, and after that happens, he almost turns into a pirate. He's got this very deep, "Dragon, I will hunt you all till the end of your days." And, this very deep kind of. I almost expect him to start saying "I matey." I don't know what exactly he's going for. There's a couple of other accents in the movie that are a little iffy, but, I think this is around the time that Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was coming out too, and I guess the accent work in this is just a little bit better than Costner's. The other thing that kind of made me laugh is I know how this story plays out. It starts with Dennis Quaid's character Bowen training a prince in the ways of being a knight and in swordplay, but really all he's doing is just sort of like whapping this kid with a play sword and telling him how he would have died from all these blows. Basically, Bowen is showing off for this kid, and then later he's wandering around wondering why this kid never learned anything. Maybe if you'd been less of an asshole about the whole thing, he might have retained a little bit more knowledge. And then, so, the reason Bowen is training this kid is because his dad is like this big douchebag king, and nobody is happy with him, and there's a revolt going on. And in the midst of this revolt, the prince that Bowen is protecting gets injured, and Bowen and the queen take this kid to a dragon voiced by Sean Connery, and the dragon splits his heart with the child. But when it's happening, and I'm gonna preface this by saying that I forgot to say this earlier, the special effects are really good. You see the dragon Draco kind of in all of his glory, and for the time, the special effects are really good. But it shows him just sort of opening this door on his chest and reaching in for his heart. He doesn't have to, like, if he does, they don't show it. He doesn't have to, like, cut it open. And he does it a couple times throughout the movie. He just opens up this door on his chest, and there's the heart. That seems, for these great mythical creatures, that seems like a huge design flaw. Makes it seem like later when Bowen becomes a dragon hunter, it would be much easier knowing about these heart doors that open up. Unless Draco's the only one that has a heart door. But still, that just seems like a huge, huge defense flaw for dragons. The other thing that made me stop and think was Draco, Sean Connery in this, specifically says, "I'm giving the prince half of my heart." Now, in the movie, Draco is... Geez, he's got to be like... at least 3 times the size of a human. You know, he's a dragon. He's big. He's an old dragon, so he's pretty good size. And one would assume that, in turn, all of his organs and everything have to be appropriately sized as well, meaning that his lungs and kidneys and his heart will be at least 3 to 4 times larger than a human's is. Yet he's cut it in half and put it into this kid's chest, meaning that, like, the organs have to, like, rearrange themselves, but then they show it, and it's still this fist-sized thing in the kid's heart, but Draco keeps saying, "It's half my heart, it's half my heart." But then the other thing is, so after he gets the heart, the Prince Einan starts kind of acting like an asshole, and Bowen thinks that it's because of this dragon's heart has corrupted him. So he's sworn this vow to, like, hunt down all the dragons until he's either killed them all or until he has killed Sean Connery's... Somebody's feeling stuff. Until he has killed Sean Connery's dragon Draco. And when they run into each other later, he doesn't recognize that this is the dragon that gave up half his heart. Are there a lot of Scottish dragons out there? You know, I've never been to Scotland, but to my American ears, it sounds like Sean Connery has a very distinct voice. So I would think that would kind of clue him off that this is the dragon that I've met before. This is the one who did the thing that I'm mad about. Why it took him so long, I don't know. Pacing of movies, whatever it is. So that was the first one. Like I said, I really enjoy it. Unfortunately, there are still 3 more movies to go. I knew about this next one coming up, which everything else from here on out, Dragonheart 1 went into theaters. Everything else from here on out is a direct-to-DVD sequel, which, with a few exceptions, usually means the quality is taking a bit of a dive. So we'll see what I'm in store for Dragonheart: A New Beginning.